Okay, today is June 8th. Today's the day after the big fall. The big falls happened on Friday. Today's Monday. Okay, when the market opened, I kind of had a feeling it might go down, but a feeling's not enough for me just to place a trade on. So it's right. And it started getting really choppy in here. Okay, early morning, I was still kind of sleepy, kind of late on the entries, and then I got chopped up a little bit. I did manage to get myself back into the green from negative 75 to plus 29. But this is just a video documenting historical data for future reference. After a big move like that, there is a higher possibility that it was going to consolidate and just chop around. You could tell by the size of this candle here. So um, there was range in these movement, but unfortunately, after I got back to even, I just took a nap just to reset my mind because I was still sleepy. But this fall from the top here down to here, that's a 30-point range. So there's plenty of range in here. For example, here to 5, 10, 15. So from here, 5, 10, 15, got 20 points to the top. Okay. Of course, I wouldn't have sat through the top. I probably would have got in and then got out here somewhere here. Um, and let me just zoom in a little closer so you can see it curling up, just like the technicals here. Okay. Um, Same here, double bottom. And I forgot. And I think I made my move right here where I went back, kind of back into the positive. So I did reduce my size, but I did get back into the positive, and it's just kind of chopping in. I don't know what's going to happen at the end of the day, but I will record it just for, like I said, just for historical data to study. So right now I'm just kind of sitting on the sideline because it's trading in a much tighter range now. Okay, like for example, here to here, we're talking about 10 points. But this is, like I said, this is just for historical data. Okay, when is it likely to consolidate? After a big move. If you watch my video on consolidation, so I had a feeling it was going to trade in tight range after a while. So that's another reason why I just decided to take a nap, because it wasn't going to trend, and I can't just sit in it and take a nap like I would on certain other days. Um, the last time we had a big red candle like this too, very similar action. It actually fell a little bit. Okay, and then it took like 2, 3 days before, I forget if it's the third day or the fourth day before it started to move higher, where it started to trend in. But right now I expect it to kind of trade in a tight range, but it can get very, very tricky. So that's why at first I tried it and then I got chopped around. So you can see all the wicks, a lot of fake out here, fake bottom here, breaks a new low, doesn't come down all the way. So very, very tricky. Go up, down, and and then when this happens, you just gotta be pickier about your trades. Make sure you're getting it at the support level to increase your probability, and probably be a little bit quicker to take profits. Um, but yeah, all right. And I'll grab a part two in this video here towards the end of the day. Let's see how it finishes up. All right, and here is the moved over to the futures chart. Okay, I'm just gonna backtrack it here too. You can see kind of got those faked out here in this wick here. I thought it got rejected. It might go up. This is where I got chopped up. But alright, so it looked like here, and then I just decided over trading. Let me just sit on the sidelines for a while. I tried to short here, but then it didn't work out. But I still got out for a positive. This is where I made my money back. Of course, as you see, it could have gotten a little higher, but whatever. So I just pointed it to here so you guys can see the range. Each horizontal line represents 5 points, so you can kind of do the measurements here. And let me just record the price action. And of course, you can go back and pause the screen if you want to analyze the chart more in details. And if you are a newer trader, these are the type of days you may want to avoid, or you have to be very picky, like you see when it makes a big move. Let me just, you can see it curling down. Once it makes a big move, then it's like more likely to make a big move the other way, and hence so this way as well. So you gotta be picky about your trades. You can't try to start taking everything here. Let's say you got here, comes back down, or you chase. That's the problem. You chase. If you're chasing, then your stop is like too close. You're more likely to get stopped out. That is the problem. When you're newer, you're too afraid to get a very good entry point. Okay, and if you chase and then you just widen your stop, and then when you're wrong, you just take a bigger hit on the loss. That's why it may be best as a newer trader to just paper trade and get better practice on your entries. But here I saw it, but I didn't want to take the trade. Even here too, I saw this too because I just didn't think it was going to be enough range to be worth the risk to reward wasn't good. So, you know, you're not trying to make 5 points. You're trying to aim for something about 15 points or more. And sometimes you don't always get the 15 points. But if you keep taking higher quality trades, in the long run, your average should be 15 points or more. So you can't be stubborn. I have to get that 15 points on that one trade. No, that's how you lose money. Okay, I watch YouTubers, and they're gurus. They've got courses and many students, and they fucking can't trade for shit. Okay, because they're just looking to hit their risk to reward on their trades, and that's not how the market works. So when you're watching YouTubers, you see them. They show you selective trades that works out really good. They make these stupid great headlines. You could trade with $5 or $50 and make a lot of money. Yeah, you can too, but reality is it's stacked against you. Okay, so when you're watching these gurus out there, they show you selected trades. They don't show you how they trade all day because some of them don't, because they can't, because they don't know shit. Some of them don't turn on the markers because you'll see how they fucked up their trades too, but then they might end up winning some size at the end by sizing up. That's not a good strategy for long-term success. Most of those traders out there, I'm going to say most of them, not everyone, there are some good ones out there, okay? But the ones I've seen that are good, they might have YouTube channels, but they're not really trying to sell course and other things. They may show some things here and there, but they're not really delving deep into courses and stuff. So just because somebody shows you that they make a lot of money, don't be impressed, because they're probably using size. Okay, the problem with trading with using size is when you're wrong, you're also losing with size. My philosophy is trade with smaller size, let accuracy uh, be the money maker. So that's why I didn't take it. It's just not enough range. Watch out for a lot of fake gurus out there. Yes, they have trading courses, and their videos look great. When you go on YouTube, they're nicely edited and everything. But as an experienced trader, someone who trades discretionary, so I can read these charts and I was good enough to develop 3 different strategies on my own. Um, I can look at the trades and tell you how they sucked. Okay, like this one here, I took the entry. It started to get weak. I got out. It wasn't the big win I want, but I also, got to take what the market gives you. Okay, don't get into a situation where you bought this bounce and you got to get your 15 points. That's fucking hopium. So, all right, now that the plane has passed, you see a kind of double bottom here, but don't focus on this 1 minute chart. You're gonna get slaughtered. I'm looking at the 5 minutes, and I don't really see anything great yet. It's possible it could reverse here, but there are better days to utilize your ammunition. Stop firing it all at one time, just hoping to try to make it every single day. Some days it may be better to skip, because if I was awake, I sure would have traded some of these moves. But right now, this is tighten up its range, and I see this double bottom. I see it possibly as a reversal point too. But today being very tricky and trading in a tight range, I'm gonna just sit on the sidelines unless I see something better. So remember, your goal at the beginning is to protect your capital or die. You're not trying to make money all the time. So if they're not good traders, how are they making money? You don't need to be a good trader to make money. You just need to be disciplined. Okay? You just need to be disciplined. That doesn't mean that you're a good trader. That means you're a disciplined trader. You need to be disciplined to make money in the long run too, yes, but there's a difference between a good trader and a disciplined trader still, okay? Good trader like me, we are discretionary traders. We don't trade strategy, because strategy says, hey, if this does this and this does meets this your rules and stuff, then you get in. Very robotic, systematic way to trade. Very low IQ way to trade. A discretionary requires more experience and you to make better judgment and execute better. And you can trade any chart. You could trade all day, unlike those other traders, because you're not reliant on strategies. You can read the damn fucking chart and make good decisions. Doesn't mean you're always going to make good decisions, but you can trade all day because you make enough good decisions where you will still come out with a positive expectation at the end of the day, week, month, whatever. So there you have it. Just because somebody is making money does not mean they're a good trader. So let's talk about some of these gurus that are making money but they aren't good traders. Some of them might only trade the first half an hour, or they only trade if they see their strategy set up, and then they're done. That's it. One trade, maybe 2 trades, or the first few hours, and then they're done. The reason why they're done is because that's part of their game plan. They're disciplined. They're only trading what they know, and they know very little, so they can only trade very little. So what do? They go, unless you have a job or something else to do, you just go off and do your whatever it is on your schedule, and then wait the next day again and repeat. So that means you can go days without trading. You can go or without taking a trade, and then after a while you start to kind of get a little bit of FOMO, and then you might take a few trades, but that's it. Okay, but if you have all day to trade and you don't know what to do the rest of the day because your mentor never taught you, then what the fuck are you going to do all day? That may be when you start giving it all back, whatever you made in the morning. That's what's most likely going to happen, unless you learn to become a discretionary trader. All right, so let's look at the chart now that the day is almost over. I was watching the markets up until somewhere around here, and then I just stopped paying attention to it because it looked like it was holding. Okay, it looks like it was gonna hold this area, and that just left me thinking that it was just going to maybe trade in the tight range all day. So I just stopped watching it. But yeah, right here, you see the wicks here, and then after this red candle. So that would have been another good entry for a short, but I was not here paying attention. And from here to where it is right now, we're talking about 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30 points. So there are range, but I just gave up looking at it right when it started to fail. So that's how the day went. If you look at the daily chart, it started to get bigger now. Unfortunately, when it was hanging around here, I just kind of gave up on a day, so I stopped watching it. But one thing I do want to add, when you're trading a SPY, it's either going to be going up or going down most of the time. It hardly ever finishes um, just trading in a tight range. That slipped my mind. It's usually going to be going up towards the end or down. And that could be starting some midday point, or could be at the very last hour or minutes too. So, um, so it does move. Sometimes I just forget to think about that, but it is what it is. I missed that trade, and so um, yeah, here it is. Just for reference in the future, how will it finish? It might even start moving back up towards the end of the day here. Who knows? But with a day like today, I'd rather just sit in the sidelines and just save myself for another day.